Out your window upstairs. Yeah, we're going live and I'm just trying to make sure that it's working. It's very delayed. Got a few phone numbers and strange, a couple of strange names. So here comes everyone. You might mute. Good morning. I'm Judge Person. I welcome everybody to court. I want to let you know a few things. And honestly, if everybody will stay muted, that's going to help us connect a little bit faster. And also that will help us in terms of just, not canceling one another out. So just be aware, but everybody will have an opportunity to, sorry, I've got a little technology. We have a lot of people today and a number of late shows and so forth. But anyway, I do, sorry, hold on just a minute. For some reason, I'm getting an echo and I think I don't know where it's coming from. Anyway, okay. So I welcome everybody to court this morning. I'm Judge Person. We're lucky to have virtual court. We're moving things live. We'll try this format available for convenience where it works. And so we'll just see if it works. And to try to see if it works. So your patience is appreciated. And if you would prefer to come in for court live and wait here, we can do that. But I think that most people probably still agree that it's pretty handy, especially if matters are simple. So some things I don't do here. I don't do trials here and I don't do trial prep hearings here. But I do want to welcome everybody to the Temple Municipal Court. And I do want to also just talk a little bit about how things move through a courtroom. While I'm doing that, however, I see Gregory Tira. If you can unmute and get on screen, you're already unmuted, but get on screen. Thank you so much. I'm going to go ahead and move you and the prosecutor, Mr. Ryan Matson, over to a pretrial hearing, since I know that y'all have heard what I have to say. So
okay,
generally, and so I'll move y'all on over. And afterwards, y'all are coming back here just for a check-in before you go.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, sir. Okay, so I do welcome everybody to Temple Municipal Court. And Mr. Matson, you should be moving over. So there you go. Okay, so I do want to let folks know a few things before we get started. Probably, I think, and the way that I think about this is I can't give you legal advice, but I can tell you how things move through a court and what the options are as they go and what the expectation that you can have from me as the judge of the court. So first off, this is a Class C court. The cases filed here are Class C offenses. They result in the imposition of fines and costs. If you're found guilty, you're normally not sentenced to jail. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't obtain a warrant. A warrant here, though, is from not finishing a court order or not showing up on time. It's not because you were found guilty or sentenced, okay? And that's important because I'm about to talk about sentencing options, okay? So normally, if you're given a ticket or issued a citation, that's a method of accusing a person, okay? So when you get that ticket, you're being accused, or you get that summons, you're being accused. And when you give a plea, you're giving an answer or a response to the accusation. There are three options for pleading: guilty, not guilty, no contest. we are presumed not guilty. If you enter a plea of no contest or guilty, we move that case into sentencing. If you plead not guilty, we move that case toward trial. Now, guilty means I did this. Okay, you're admitting that offense, putting aside any disagreement, and moving forward with sentencing. If you plead no contest, we take the same steps, but you're not admitting or denying the offense. So when you plead no contest, you're not admitting or denying the offense, but you're moving forward with sentencing. If you plead not guilty, you are contesting it. That alerts the state, that the prosecutor in this case, that you are asking that that case be proved against you, not because the burden is on you to make the request, but because they have the burden of proof. And therefore you're alerting them, hey, we're going to burden of proof time, which we call a trial. Okay. Trials are how we resolve conflicts in our country, hopefully. Okay. So we're moving that case toward trial. Now, if you plead not guilty, I'm scheduling right now, we're currently scheduling a pretrial in this format. Some of that is moving over because it's considered a contested case. You also received, when you were scheduled on that docket, you also received a scheduled hearing here in the court. And if the case is not resolved today, that's fine. We're just moving to that final setting. And that's not your trial. That's a pre-trial, for trial. We have pre-trial motions that sometimes need to be heard. We need to schedule a bond. I need to schedule a bunch of different things that I don't think are appropriate to do online. Everybody probably ought to keep in mind, I'm asking you to be on screen. I can see you. So even if you can't see everybody, I can see everybody. So just keep in mind what you're doing. Okay. I'll just say that one time. Okay. So I'm going to move forward with people here in a moment. And what I'm doing is just checking in to see, where we are with things. If we're in a sentence and it's not working, I'm trying to see if I can resolve any issues about that sentence. If it's not, if you have not yet been sentenced, I will look into, your options with you. And I just want to talk about options generally. I do want to let you know that what the law says, and the law has kind of got one real pattern to it. And that is that there's always a general rule and then a bunch of exceptions, right? So what happens there is, generally speaking, if you plead guilty or no contest, you're sentenced to pay the fines and costs, and it goes on your record. And in terms of fines and costs, I look at income. I also look at that income in the not guilty context in terms of scheduling a bond. And in terms of guilty or no contest, I make adjustments at that point, generally speaking. In the context of the bond, I look at it the same way, but in a different context, not finding someone guilty, but setting their bond for trial. So I did ask for that income information from everyone for different purposes. And sometimes that can confuse people why I do that. And the main reason is I'm not a fan of making you fill out extra paperwork to make my file fat. There's no reason to make you do a bunch of paperwork that doesn't have a need or purpose. So just be aware that we did ask for that information, and I'm looking at it in the guilty or not no contest setting in terms of payment of funds and costs. I also want to talk about if you plead guilty or no contest, and I mentioned that you'd be found guilty and it would go on your record. There are 4 exceptions in a Class C court. I'll talk about those in just a moment. Mr. Terra, Mr. Mattson, let's both get unmuted and talk about where we are with the Cora Ford case or cases.
Your Honor, Mr. Terra and I have reached an agreement.
Okay.
We're going to be placing the theft under $100 charge on deferral.
Okay.
Terms of that are 120 days with an 8-hour theft course by day 60. And Mr. Terra indicated that his client could make payment in full within 30 days.
Okay. All right. Mr. Mattson, I think it's appropriate, if you have no objection, that we use your standing order here at the court and go ahead and send that deferral to Mr. Terra at his email address that we used for this setting. Mr. Terra, what that would look like is the terms and conditions, and I'll review them in a moment. We would get that to you just a little bit faster, and you won't have to wait till close of court. It would come over. You'll be excused, but we'll send it. You look at it, as long as it comports with what I'm about to say, you sign it and send it back over to us. Is that acceptable to you?
Yes, Your Honor. And there were two cases. The other case, the bait pen case, is going to be dismissed.
Right. Part of a plea
That is correct, Your Honor.
as a plea bargain.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, Your Honor, as part of this deal.
Okay, I have no problem. I will sign those. Okay, so Mr. Mattson, probably that dismissal, I'm just not sure if that's, do we have a motion on that?
I can send that over
That
later
would-
this morning, Your Honor.
Okay, the clerk is informing me that we are able to do that one since we have a recording now. So we'll send that over to, so Mr. Terra will send both documents. Now, if I understand it, dismissing the possession charge of tobacco and in exchange a plea on the theft charge on 120-day deferral, which ends November 9th. And with an 8-hour class, we'll send class of type information over with your deferral, but due by September 23rd, no need to wait. And then 30 days for payment on October 10th. Everybody good with that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, we will send that over to you, Attorney Terra. You are good to go unless you have further business or questions for the court.
No, ma'am. Thank you very much. Have a great day.
Thank you, sir. You're good to go. As
Okay.
you wish.
Bye.
Thank you. Okay, so I was just talking about the 4 ways to gain a dismissal, and let me just tell you quickly what those are. They are compliance dismissals. I'm going to review these briefly too. Driving safety course options, deferred dispositions, and teen court. Compliance dismissals are things that are by law defined to be dismissible if you meet certain terms and conditions. That language in that law says the judge shall dismiss, and therefore I will be looking for those dismissals to see if you qualify. You're welcome to ask me questions about it. I'm not going to wait for those questions. I'm going to move towards those dismissals to see if I can get you there. But ask if you think I've missed something. Ask if you have questions when it's your turn. 2, deferred dispositions driving safety course options are for moving violations. I'm sorry, I should say that first one, compliance. Those are things that can be brought up to date and dismissed. The law doesn't do that for everything that can be brought up to date and dismissed. And that's why it can be a little, I'm looking. So like an example would be your blinker was broken. You were cited for your broken blinker. You bring in proof that you fixed the broken blinker and you're on time to court, and you have proof that it's fixed, and we pay a $10 fee and get it dismissed because it's broken equipment. Okay, so that's an example. I can't do them all because there's like 18, and you would absolutely get tired of hearing me speak by the time I got through all that. So I'll just look for them and you can ask as well. Second thing is if you have a moving violation, you can get a case dismissed if you complete a driving safety course, the proper course, a driving record, the proper record, on time to court. It's always critical to be on time. And therefore, that is a process that you're engaging in. With that particular situation, what is happening is that you have to pay the court costs. The fine goes on hold. You get your course and your record in, your case is dismissed. Let me go back over that with a little bit more information that I think is important. Every ticket has a fine and a cost, okay? The fine is set by the judge of the court. That'd be me. The cost is set by the Texas legislature. That would be our representatives in Austin. I bet you can guess what's going to come out of my mouth next. I can't change the costs, okay? The legislature sets them, right? So in the driving safety course context, you pay the costs. The fine goes on hold, okay? If you get your course and your record turned in on time, your ticket is dismissed. Now you pay, and that fine gets waived. You do pay for the course, you pay for the record, you pay for the court cost. Nevertheless, generally speaking, this is going to be less expensive than paying the whole ticket and have it go on your record. And the reason why is because we know that people drive better after they take the course for a little while. And therefore, there's an incentive. And the reason there's an incentive is because if you get a citation, you've moved into the highest bracket for death and dismemberment on the roadways, higher than other people. Our 25s and under are the super powered group of death and dismemberment in Texas. And unfortunately, Texas kills more people and more young people than any other state. So there's a reason we have this program in place. The legislation hasn't changed it lately. They're still meeting, but I don't think this is on the chopping block. And we hope that it stays because it makes sense. It is a take nothing for the city, and that's the law has determined that that is appropriate. All that money that you do pay for court costs goes to the general coffer of the state, not the city. Okay. So just be aware that program's out there. If it looks like you might be qualified to be in that program, I'll be trying to talk to you about it and see if you want to do it. If you have questions about it, you can ask me. Okay. But I should be looking for that to talk to you about it. If you don't want to do it, nobody can force you. You can just, you're able to just pay your ticket at the window in most cases. But I assume that you're on this meeting for a reason. Otherwise, you would pay at the window or online. So you're able to do that. Okay, the third way to gain a dismissal, it works a little differently. So I'll ask you to really tune in for a minute. Deferred disposition. Deferred means to delay. Disposition means to make final. I delay making your case final. I put an order in place. If you follow that order and you do everything listed in that order on time, you get a dismissal. If you fail to do so, and I don't make a modification because you come in and talk to me about it, you get convicted. So it's a known way to get a dismissal. If you're in a dismissal and you can't comply for some reason, you have a duty to tell the court and to tell the court on time. Okay. You do need to follow up and tell us. And human nature, sometimes people put their head in the sand and they ignore something, and it can get much more complicated that way. And in the deferred setting, we ask you to come in at the address you provided on file, and then we move forward with the case, and I make a decision without your input. So the duty to follow up is really in your favor. So that's a deferred, but here's the trick with the deferred. You need to request it at the time that your plea is accepted by the court. You might ask yourself, what does that look like? And the answer is guilty or no contest, I'd like a deferred, or guilty or no contest, deferred. And I'll know what you're driving at. Okay. So if you remember nothing else, I'm not supposed to be offering a deferred to you. A prosecutor might offer a deferred to you, or they might not. They're not obligated to do so. Sometimes deferreds, you just saw one float by, come over from the prosecution. And in a Class C court, that happens sometimes, and that's appropriate. And it is also acceptable only in the Class C setting for a person to request a deferred directly from the judge. So there's sometimes people believe they need to get on the pretrial to get a deferred, and you may do that. And sometimes you may do that from the judge. The judge can always say yes or no to any deferred request without explanation, even if the prosecutor and the defendant come forward with one. But generally speaking, I sign those. I don't get in the way if you come to an agreement. Okay. But so there's two ways to get there is what I'm trying to talk about. Okay. And then I mentioned there were four. The fourth one is teen court. Teen court looks a little bit like a deferred, but the teen person, it has a little more to do that they do in lieu of payment is how I think about it, because they're usually in school and they don't have time to do, or they're not working. This school is the work that they do. There are exceptions to that. But with teen court, we look at dismissal as a way to learn the maximum amount from the experience that brought you to court so that we don't see you again in this setting. Okay. So that's the 101. That's really the most I can do. If you have questions, I might be able to answer them. You're free to ask them. They could be, if the question requires that I give legal advice, I won't be able to apply the law to your case and tell you what to do, for example, then I, will let you know. So if you're asking a question that's not appropriate, I'm not going to shame you. I'm just going to let you know, here's where we are. I can't tell you. You're always free before you enter a plea to meet with an attorney of your choice, make a decision about what you want to do with your case with that legal advice. The way that looks in a Class C court, it's not court appointed, but you can have time to meet with someone or to go find someone to meet with. And the way that that works is you say, I'd like time. If your plea has already been accepted or you've already entered a plea, we're not able to do that. That's prior to the plea. Okay. So that is the 101 now. So Mr. Matson, I'm going to move you forward with the first person would be Simon Aviles or Avias. It might be Aviles. You can tell me the best way to say it. If you'll unmute, then I can make sure your audio is working.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, very good. I will move you over to the virtual ring with the prosecutor. At the
Okay.
end, you'll click back over, or if you're not able to, I will bring you back over and we can then check in. We'll all check in about the case. That's a meeting with the city's prosecutor, and the prosecutor does not work for you, for anyone here, including me. The prosecutor works for the city as I'm an independent department and I don't answer to a department within the city. I'm a state judge. So the prosecutor answers to the city attorney, just like a DA would, okay? Like an assistant district attorney or deputy assistant attorney. So just for all practical purposes, not your lawyer, that's the main thing, and answers to a different chain of command. I can apply the law in the courtroom to him and to anyone before the court. So that's the control I have, but I don't control that. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm not worried about him. I tell everybody this every day. Okay, there we go. Moving you over.
Okay.
Yeah, I just make that announcement because it's just important to know who's who and what's what. Okay, let me get a little tiny caught up on getting people identified. Okay, so let's see. I had someone I did talk to, I had someone log on as Samsung, and I just want to find out who you are. If you could unmute on the Samsung, I'm sending you a unmute request. What's your name, please? You got to unmute or I can't hear you. You got your hand over your mouth and you've got glasses. Yeah, there we go. Could you unmute, please? Can't hear you because you're muted. Try, I'm sending an unmute request and it should pop up a button for you to click. There
Okay.
we go. Perfect. Your name, please?
Manuel Rivera.
What's the last name?
Rivera.
Can you spell it, please?
Rivera.
Okay. Are you Manuel Rivera?
Yes.
Great. Gotcha. I'm going to just rename you for this meeting. And it'll go back to Samsung after the meeting, but I don't want to lose track of you. I also have a few folks on the telephone. Well, I did have a few folks on the telephone. I have one person with an area code 956, and I'm asking you to unmute, please, and just tell me your name. Sometimes takes a little while for the phone unmuting to happen. I'm going to keep moving, but if they unmute, I'll just pause who I'm talking to. So,
Hola.
no, that's hola. Hello. You're not on the telephone. You're on a Zoom. So I can see you. I'll be with you. Juan Ortega. Right. I don't know who that is either. Oh, he needs to be clothed. Mr. Ortega, do you have a shirt on before you get on screen, please? Mr. Ortega, Juan Ortega. I can't have a meeting if you can't unmute. Yeah, he was putting one on a moment ago. You need to be clothed for court. For heaven's sakes, I shouldn't have to say that. I don't know who that is. So that's one of the ones that is not defined. So I will come back to that. Okay, well, I'm not really getting anywhere with, folks, if you can't respond, I can't, if we have a meeting and someone stands here in court and they refuse to speak and they refuse to talk about anything and they can't identify themselves, then the answer is that they are no longer able to have my time. So, Mr. Mattson, I'll move Simon Avila's back over, and we'll see where we are. It's not a meeting if you're not talking or communicating or identifying. Okay, where are we with the Avila's case?
We're going to continue to final pretrial, Your Honor, but there is a chance that this case will be resolved prior to that date.
Okay, that's going to be August 23rd at 1. And we will all be here in the courtroom at that time. Okay, Mr. Avila's? Yes? No, they're hearing me. They're just talking and not unmuting. Yes, we will see you here in August.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
Okay, we'll see you then. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. You have a great day.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Mr. Mattson, I'll move you over with Sharon Fairley. Sharon Fairley, can you unmute? You'll need to get on the screen and let me know that I can hear you. You've remuted and you're not on the screen.
Ma'am, I have a question.
You'll have to wait. Sharon Fairley, you're unmuted. Can you please speak up? Okay, well, I will skip that case and move to Manuel Rivera Herrera. Mr. Rivera Herrera, let me move you over to that meeting.
Okay.
Ms. Fairley, I will get back to you if you can speak. Can we hear you? You're unmuted, so you have to turn your volume up, perhaps. I'll let you work on it. I need to move forward and I'll come back to you. Ms. Gomez, let's talk about the Zapata case.
Yes, Judge.
How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well. Thank you for asking. Give me a moment. I wanted to do this before court and I just want to look at your representation letter.
Okay.
And give me a moment to pull that up on this case, because I know that you have some frustration. And a lot of courts have the general rule in their rules, basically, that says, if you represent someone, it's only for the plea. But of course, you probably know if you've done any court-appointed work, it's not that simple. And so your rep letter tells me the, level of representation that you're coming in on. And so give me a moment. I'm just trying to find it. There it is. Are you pulling? Does it slow it down if we both do it? I've wondered about that. So I'm just looking to see what the limits are. And if not, you can always limit representation with a letter of rep. Or check local rules. I'm considering a change in that rule because you're not the only person that I've been affected. Yeah, so you filed a general letter and
Yes, Judge. I took on this case pro bono. I was actually representing her on a different case.
understood. So what I would tell you there is generally, now I'm trying to get the screen to give me the room back. Okay, so let me tell you just generally about that. If you want to be removed from the case, file a motion, okay? And I'll just set it and we'll do our best to give notice to what appears to be someone who has absconded, okay? At least from the level of connection that we have. I don't know if you've spoken with this person. Word was given to me that perhaps that has not worked for you as well as for us.
Well, Judge, I have previously, she was very responsive to me, and I know she was late in getting things to the court, like her class that was required by her deferred.
It's not late, it's non-existent. We don't have it.
Well, the original, I'm sorry, Judge, I'm referring to the original deferral. She did complete a 4-hour course, but it was 2 months late. The original deferral
It
paperwork.
was after the conviction had been entered for after the show call.
Right, Judge, right, correct. And
To me,
so
it wasn't due anymore. To me, once you're convicted, that went away. You got a conviction, and the sentence has to shift to what the law requires, which is payment. We'd already dealt with that. The payment was no longer due, but the law does require under the tobacco alcohol statute that anyone convicted of an alcohol related offense complete an alcohol class, an 8-hour class, and 8 hours of alcohol related community service. So I entered that conviction when I didn't receive the other. Then anything that gets sent in that isn't the next thing is just not, it's like overpaying on your ticket. You get a refund. And
correct, Judge. I was just trying to answer the question about how responsive she had been. She was responsive during that time period.
I got it, but we're now here.
Correct, Judge. So I have not had any contact with her for the last couple months. However, I did move offices, and so I wanted to I was hoping I could have a chance to at least inform her of my motion to withdraw before I filed it, but I guess that's.
You're required to let me know if you've been able to serve her with a letter at the last known address. You're required by the statute when you look it up to tell me the last contact that you've had and what you've done to secure contact and the last known address of that person. And then you swear to that, and then I'm able to sign. And we also send the note out to the address we have on file. There's a lot of notice that people get for those kinds of things. And as long as it looks to me that you've done your due diligence and the court has done its due diligence, then I need to move forward. And I understand not staying on the case forever.
Thank you, Judge. Yes, if I could just have a little bit of time to get that over to you, I'd appreciate it.
Okay. Well, as today, what we're actually addressing is the show cause for the 8 hours of class and community service not being done. And so I'm going to move forward and assume that I'm not receiving that, because I believe we send notice out to both you and the client at this point. Prior to, did we send? Yeah, we sent a dual letter out at that point because it impacts two things: the representation, but also the license. And so I'm going to go ahead and move forward with. It's another layer of suspension that they get on their license. They get a 60-day suspension. So I enter a 60-day suspension at this point for non-completion. And you're welcome to file the motion that you want to file whenever you choose to file it. after the 60 days, it's sort of done, you know. But the
Yes.
record does reflect and will reflect that you were here. And that way, if there's any question with the bar about whether you did your due diligence, I mean, you're here, but it's not like you can turn in a course that hasn't been handed to you.
Thank you,
So-
Judge. I appreciate it.
Okay, I will move forward with this case. You are, unless you have further questions or further business from the court, you're excused at this.
I do not, Judge. Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're good to go. Okay. Leave. Let's see. Mr. Rivera Hernandez has come back. Still trying to move over there. Oh. Hung up. So we'll see what happens with that. Ms. Fairley, are you able to hear us? I think I can hear, you can hear us. So now I want to see, can I? Can you speak to into the microphone perhaps? Okay, I see that you're speaking and you're not muted, but your audio isn't working. So there's not a way to have a meeting. What I guess I would say to you at this point is you are welcome. The notice that we sent you also included a phone number, a way to just dial in to the meeting. And if you can reference that and dial in, that's the best next step. The other step after that is our final pretrial setting is August 9th at 2:00. So if it doesn't work to come into this meeting, we'll just all expect to be here at the contested docket August 9th at 2:00. So try to dial in if you want to talk to the prosecutor, because this is the best time to take a little breathing room and look at that case. But if you're not able, then August 9th at 2:00 is when we're going to be back to be here, because I don't see a way for him to meet with you without being able to communicate. So I'm going to go ahead and hang up with you. Now, if you think there might be something wrong with your connection, you're welcome to dial back in and see if it works. But phone call is the next best thing. With the thanks of the court, I'm removing you from the meeting because it's not working. I've got a few people to let in. On the Rivera Herrera case, maybe one of these persons, that person. These are two people that don't appear on one of them is on. Really. Okay, so one person that just came in here is Bianca Morales, and her audio is challenged. And then the other person is Darmisha Slay, who I do not see on any docket. So I'll work with
Good
this
morning,
person.
Judge. I'm counsel for Eugenia Smith.
Very good. Okay. Great. From the Pritchard office. Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Ms. Slay. I appreciate you identifying for me. We're having quite I don't see technology problems, but for some reason, I'll just keep working on my communication skills, I guess. Okay, I'll move you over to that meeting. I was just about to call for who's here, so thank you very much.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Mr. Matson, Darmisha Slay is here for the Eugenia Smith case.
Thank you, Judge.
Have moved over. Okay, I'm going to call names out because I'm getting a lot of just unidentified people. So let me try this. Patricia Bilton, are you here? Larry Culp, are you here? Ariana Dennison, are you here? Alicia Johnson, are you here? This is going to take a long time, folks. Vernon Johnson, are you here? Ryan Larson, are you here? These are all folks going to warrant at this point. Equation Lee, are you here? I see Pamela Governal. I don't know. Are you here for a
Yes.
represented person?
No, ma'am.
Okay, you look like an attorney to me.
Thank you, ma'am.
Who's your, I mean, are you the person with a case before the court?
Yes, ma'am.
And could we have perhaps a different name?
You talking about for Pamela Governor? No, that's it.
Okay, you are Pamela Governal?
Yes. And I'm sorry I'm not addressing you properly. Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, there you are. I see. I'm so sorry. No, you're addressing me just fine. No problem. You're great. No worries. You'll be next, okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Very good. I just overlooked your name somehow. I think because it's beneath a different one that I have. I don't know. It's just a visual thing. Okay. So don't worry about it. Let's see. Azalea Macy, are you here? If I'm not calling your name, you shouldn't worry because it means I saw that you're here, which is good. Yuselka Pozo Valdez, are you here? Eugenia Smith, they're meeting. Vanessa Stats, are you here? Candy Wagner, are you here?
Here, Your Honor.
Okay, I thought that might be you. Are you in a hospital?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Are you?
Honor?
There you are, Miss Stats. Great.
Yes, hi.
Okay, I'll be with you soon. Let's see. And Veronica Canton, sorry, Zemba Canton. Are you here?
Yes.
Okay. You are Veronica Zemba Canton?
Yes.
Okay, I'll change the name on the screen. It's just for this meeting, okay?
Okay.
On the phone, is that Miss Ferry, 254-535? I don't give out all the numbers because I don't give out people's phone number. On the telephone. Okay, well, I'm just going to move forward. Haley Brown, can you unmute and tell me how you're doing today?
I'm doing good.
Great. There you are. Okay. So I do have proof of enrollment, which means we've qualified you for teen court. There's actually a preliminary step before we even look at teen court. And that is, and I did receive a plea. First of all, let me just back up and talk to you a little bit, okay? Are you Dad, by the way?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And your name?
Willie Brown.
Hi, Mr. Brown. You're not required to be here because she is an adult, which in Texas is 17 for criminal purposes, but I'm glad you're here, okay? Outcomes are always better when parents are involved, so that's good news. Haley, Ms. Brown, what I want to ask you is the guilty, not guilty, no contest. When I was explaining what those do and what they mean, did you have any questions about that?
No, ma'am.
Okay, do you feel like you understand the meaning of those pleas?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I did receive a no contest plea from you. This is regarding a no license charge from May 31st, where the fines and costs would be $181. And I wanted to ask if that is your plea at this time.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. My next question though is, and state law does not provide for a compliance dismissal for no license. We do have a local, what I call a local dismissal, compliance dismissal. It appears that you might be qualified for that. My question is, are you getting your license? And if so, when?
What is it?
It's scheduled. She's enrolled in the
Course.
Texas. Yes, ma'am. And so it's probably in the next 6 weeks.
You have a start date.
Just one moment, man. I need to pull it up on my phone. I'm sorry.
Okay, I can hold. While I'm holding for that, and y'all just stay there doing that. Mr. Mattson, let me go ahead and talk with you and Attorney Slay, please, about I believe it's the Smith case.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor. Ms. Slay is going to take an offer back to her client, and we will either reconvene on the final date or we'll have it resolved before then.
Okay, I have a situation here though, and I need to check on one thing, y'all, before we leave this one. I don't have fingerprints, and I need to see, did we do a fingerprint? Give me a moment. Let me check the file. Sometimes I can get there. State law requires that I have fingerprints, even if I sign an outright dismissal.
Yes, Your Honor.
And I don't have fingerprints. Oh, okay. This says little old. Okay, I had some old information on a sticky tab. I should know better than to rely on it. I needed to check. Okay, so are we rescheduled for August 9th at 3, or are we wanting with discovery, or are we wanting to schedule earlier than that time? That's pretty
We can stick with August 9th, Your Honor. Discovery has actually already been provided.
Okay, that's a live hearing, so anything that resolves that case prior is how we canceled the requirement to be here. That's about a month out. It should work. Attorney Slay, what do you think?
It sounds good to me, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Attorney Mattson.
That works, Your Honor.
Okay, then Attorney Slay, do you have any further questions or matters before the court that I need to address?
No, Your Honor. If that's all for me, may I be excused?
Of course, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, Mr. Mattson, let's see. I called for non-appear people and got a better result. I think I have Sharon Fairley on a phone call, but I'm not positive because I'm not getting a response there. So I'm going to move you forward. I'm going to continue to try to work with her. But Allegra Donadio is next for you. Allegra Donadio, can you get on screen? Thank you so much.
Ma'am.
Okay, I will move you over to that meeting. Okay, and I too will move forward. I'm talking with Haley Brown. Oh, y'all didn't need to mute with us. Mr. Brown, were you able to find that start?
Yes, ma'am. It's the 6-hour online driver education course for adults in the state of Texas, and she can start today.
Starting today.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
Once you complete that, you get time is of the essence. And let me check and see. Local business. It's okay. Big breaths, nothing smooth. Yes. Just on that. Did a 60. The prosecutor has written orders that it's like an agreement between the court and the prosecutor. It's written down, very transparent. And it just tells me, is this something that prosecutor would dismiss? And if so, because most of our people are pro se, I make those things available, even if you don't know to go out and hire someone to tell you that. Okay, it looks like, oh, I didn't realize that's in. Okay. Well, nothing. And then at the bottom, is it 60 or 9? This one. So, okay. So if I reschedule y'all from a month from today, which is August 10th, you might be able to have a permit by then or a license. It might be an outright license. It might be a 6-month permit with another driver in the car. Anything that authorizes you to get behind the wheel lawfully, be it alone or with another person. In other words, I can take and dismiss without doing the teen court process. And the reason for that is, honestly, with teen court, what I would schedule you to do is take the same class you're taking. So this is a free way to get a dismissal that really qualifies for your case uniquely. Okay. So I'm going to reset you. And what I'm going to say to you is strive to get that done and get in and get your permit or your license. When you get it, bring it to the court. They'll scan it for me to review. And if I can sign a dismissal, I will. If not, then we're scheduled August 10th to come back in on Zoom and have a conversation, check in and see where we are. The reason that can happen is you're ready to go and you can't get an appointment to get your license. And so you're in between two worlds at that point. So a couple of things. One is don't reoffend while this is pending. Okay. You don't want to do that because then this dismissal goes away and now you've got 2 cases or 3. And you're also in the top group for injury and dismemberment on Texas roadways. So definitely don't be driving till you're licensed to drive, because just getting through the course and getting licensed improves your driving. Okay. So that's 2. Did I say 2 things? I really meant 3. Third thing, if you're not ready by your due date, log on in and tell me where you're at. Don't assume that you have to go to the local DMV to get your license. You can go anywhere in the state of Texas that will see you. So you might, if you check with them and they're booked out till 3 months from now, you might want to look and see if there's availability elsewhere. Okay. All right. Do y'all have any questions?
I had a question.
Yes.
So a permit would be acceptable?
For purposes of this type of dismissal, the answer is yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Great question. Okay, further questions? Mr. Brown or Ms. Brown?
No, ma'am.
Okay, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Y'all are good to go. I'm just going to set that on my own motion and make a note, and therefore we're good to go. I don't need
what date? The actual date, ma'am?
August 10th, 9 o'clock, Zoom, and we'll send it to the email that we used for today's meeting. Will that email still work?
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Sharon Fairley, are you here? Okay, Allegra Donadio, are you here? Here we go. All right. Mr. Matson, let me hear from you. Where are we?
We're going to go ahead and continue to that final pretrial hearing, Your Honor, but I do believe this case will be resolved before then.
Okay. It stays on the docket unless I receive everything I need. And the way to know whether that's happened is to call the clerk the morning of and check in and ask if it's still on the docket. Okay?
Yes, thank you very much.
Great. Thank you. That's August 9th at 2.
Okay, you have a good day.
And you too.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, I'm going to call real quickly again for, let me ask if Mr. Rivera Herrera, are you here? I've got an unidentified phone call person.
Your Honor, I already spoke with Mr. Herrera.
Yeah, I know you did, but then he didn't come back from the meeting, right?
Oh, did he not come back over?
No, and he hung up, and I think he had maybe, I don't know, but I then got a phone call and it's unidentified. So, but now they're not muted, but they're not speaking. On the telephone, can you just say your name, please? 254 ending in 535. Mr. Matson, are you able to tell me a little bit about Rivera Herrera, the outcome there? Are we just moving to final?
Yeah, Your Honor, he's actually set for final tomorrow.
Yes,
So I told him I'd like to just reconvene tomorrow and figure out how to handle his case. I think he has 2 cases.
yes, he does. However, one is okay. Yeah, one's for tomorrow and one was for today. Can address them both tomorrow. So I'm going to cross him off the list. I don't know who the fin color is. I'm going to move you forward. Your next person is Pamela Governal. Ms. Governal, can you unmute?
Yes, ma'am.
Great. I'll move you over to that meeting, and at the end, you'll come back over.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I too am moving forward, and if I could talk to Tavon Rollins. Is it Tavon or Tavone?
It's Tavon.
Okay. How are you today?
Good, and you?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm getting your file pulled up in case you're wondering what I'm doing. Okay. All right, let's see. We have 2 things before the court. They're both from a stop on May 21st of 2023. There's a no insurance charge, and that one has fines and costs of $281. I did receive a no contest plea to that charge. And then there is also a registration charge, and that's not actually set until July 17th, but we can talk about it. On the first one, let's talk about the insurance case. I did receive a no contest plea and a request for a deferral. Is that your plea at this time?
I got insurance for the
Yeah, I'll talk about that in a moment, but I'm trying to confirm. Is your plea no contest at this time?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. The insurance that we were given starts June 9th. Did you have insurance prior to June 9th?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Can you send it over now? Like insurance covering the time of the stop. May 21st.
Oh no, I had it. I got it on the 9th. I didn't get it the day after.
Okay, so you don't have insurance prior to the 9th. You have insurance beginning on the 9th?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. State law, excuse me, state law does not provide that we get an insurance case dismissed or after the fact insurance, probably because that after the fact insurance wouldn't cover an accident, right? So on that charge, I can grant a deferred, which is a gateway, if you will, to a dismissal. But I did receive an incomplete financial affidavit. It just said that you work at Jersey Mike's, and where I asked for your take-home pay, you put 11 hours. So I don't, is that a new position for you?
Oh, I thought it was no, I just left that place because I didn't feel like I was getting enough hours, but I'm waiting on my background from Walmart. But I can trade the what is it? I believe I was told 400 yesterday.
Okay, the insurance case just has 281.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you able to pay that today?
Yes, ma'am. I have a notice to appear, and I appeared on June 12th.
Okay, you're jumping around. You're jumping around. I need to talk to you about, I know, but it's gonna, if you will allow me to be the judge of the court, which I am, I will walk through this with you.
Yes,
okay,
ma'am, I'm sorry.
It's gonna be harder, and it's gonna keep diverting us away from what we need to be focused on. and it doesn't work well. So here's my question. The 281, are you able to pay that today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And how are you paying? Is it by check, card? How are you paying?
I have cash. I can take it to the municipal court. I
What
guess
time? What time?
1 o'clock, before 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock is fine. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
I'll have your deferred paperwork there. It will tell you that you have 120 days from today to receive no citations or convictions during that time. It will also say that you're paying today. It will also say that we need insurance for the deferral period. The insurance provided ended July 9th. If that is a continuing plan, just bring that with you. If you don't have it, if you're now uninsured again, I can give you a couple of weeks to bring in proof of coverage for the deferral period. The deferral period runs from today until November 9th. Are you able to show proof of insurance today?
No, ma'am, because it went out yesterday or day before yesterday.
Okay, so proof, let's say proof in 30 days. Okay.
Is there a way that I could not get the insurance because I really only have enough to pay the ticket in full, and then I don't start work until I get my background check?
There's not a way that I'm going to grant a deferral, but I can give you time.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I'll work with you to an extent as long as you don't get more tickets. Okay, does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
Because my purpose as judge is not necessarily to get payment. That's part of the penalty. But my purpose is to really make sure that you're not getting more tickets. I could give you until August 31st. That's almost 7, let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks.
And that's to get the insurance?
Right, proof of insurance.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you'll be coming by to sign and make payment, and you'll get a copy of your deferred. It'll have that deadline on there for August 31st. And all you're doing, you don't have to come on to Zoom, and you just swing by and drop it off.
Okay.
Anytime on or before that date. And that'll basically, as long as you don't get more tickets, that'll cover that one. And then the next one is your registration. And with that one, that's only dismissible if you don't miss a court date, and we have a missed court date. So that one we could schedule payments and not start. That can be $25 a month, and I can give you 30 days to start that.
That's the 150.
That's 151.
Could I pay that in total, and then what you say before? What was it? That would be 400, and then I have to show proof of insurance before August 31st.
Sure. Are you wanting to pay that one today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's actually going to save you a little bit of money, a few dollars. But I'll just make a note that you're paying that today. Okay.
And that's, can I get the full total just to make sure I got it?
Yes, of course, 432.
Okay.
Okay. And the registration won't affect your driving record. The insurance would, and so the deferral is the best thing you could do on that. So, do you have questions? When you get here, you're going to get a copy of the deferral. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Mr. Rollins, do you have any further questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Good luck with everything. It sounds like you're heading in the right direction.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Mr. Matson, I know that you were visiting with Miss Governall, and I think I've got her back pulled over, but no, I don't. I thought I did. We'll get there. Miss Fairley is here, so I'm admitting.
Can I leave?
Yes, I actually thought I had gone ahead and removed you, so you can just hang up. You're good to go.
Okay.
Okay, we'll see you at 1.
Yes, ma'am. Have a good one.
And you too. Okay, on the Governal case, where are we?
We're going to continue to final pretrial, Your Honor.
Okay, that's fine. August 23rd at 1 o'clock is that date. And we'll see everybody here at that time.
I forgot to ask one question, Your Honor. Is it okay
Yes.
if I do that now? For
Yes.
any evidence or documents that I need to submit before that, do I take it to the courts, or is that something that I bring with me when we finally set the trial date?
Okay, so it kind of depends on what it is. If it's something you're trying to get the prosecutor to look at, then you can either email it to the court, it will go into your file, and he has access to that file. If you are trying to admit it at trial, I can't really give you legal advice about how to do that.
Okay, because I just know at the court, they told me to submit a video, audio, or any documents. They told me to ask when I showed up here today. I just forgot to ask him.
I think I would just bring it with you when you come to the pretrial.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
We'll see where we are at that point.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any further questions?
No, ma'am. So I'm free to leave?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you. Have a nice day.
And you too. Sharon Fairley, can you unmute? How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. I'm going to move you over to the meeting with the prosecutor. We'll try. You're not very clear, but we'll give it a go. Okay. I also am moving forward. Amare Howard, can you unmute and tell me how you're doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, thank you. Let's see, let me get your file pulled. And I do see that you're enrolled as a high school student. You are 16, which means I need a parent. It looks like you have a parent.
Yes,
Hi, what is your
Hello.
name? Hi.
Will.
Sorry, your name?
Will Howard.
Hi, Mr. Howard. You are Amare, is it Amare?
Amari, yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sorry about earlier. You are Amare's father?
Yes.
Great. And this is running a red light charge. The fines and costs are $269. I did receive paperwork from Amare that included a plea of guilty and a request for teen court. And first, Amare, what I would ask you is, did you understand the pleading options of guilty, not guilty, and no contest, and what those mean?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Dad, do you feel like he understands the plea options and what he's accused of doing?
Yes.
Amare, is that your plea at this time?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So with teen court, there's a $20 fee, and we would try to ask that that fee be paid today. It is a cash fee. Can you pay that fee today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then the next thing is we would look at a driving safety course that would be due by August 10th. And we have one that's live, that's specific for young people. I don't favor the provider necessarily, like I don't know those people, but I know the content and it's pretty good for younger drivers, which you are a new driver. I'm going to let you know which one that is on your paperwork. I'll probably put a little star by it. However, I will take any regular 6-hour approved for dismissal driving course, including online. Okay. So if that one's not going to work for you, or you just don't want to do that one, that's fine too. But I like to let parents know, because that one, they do a little bit more about young drivers. Okay. And so that's why I'm kind of mildly interested in it. But That's what I would require. And if you turn that in on time, I would dismiss your charge on August 10th if you turn it in. Do you agree?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what time can y'all be by the court to do the cash payment and sign your paperwork?
Before 11.
Okay, that's fine. I'll just put by 11. So we should have that ready pretty quickly. And it'll be at the front desk. So when you get here, you'll just come in and you'll, anyone at the front desk can help you. And, you know, you'll be able to complete the paperwork, get a copy of it, and a list of, or instructions for how to find a provider. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, any questions before you go?
No, ma'am.
Okay, you're good to go.
All right. Have a nice day.
Thank you, and both of you as well.
You too.
18. DJ. It's okay. For some reason. Okay, let's see. Miss Fairley is back over. Let's try and see, where are we, Mr. Matson, on the Fairley case?
Your Honor, I was not able to communicate with Miss Fairley at all.
Okay.
I don't even know if she could hear me, but she did submit a valid placard and license, so I was planning on dismissing her ticket.
Okay.
I don't know how to communicate that to her though.
Okay, she's been able to hear. It's just her technology isn't helping her today, which happens. Miss Fairley, we're not hearing you, but you have tried so hard and I just deeply appreciate you. But I want to let you know that the prosecutor has decided to dismiss the charge against you, the handicap charge. And so that case is going to be dismissed now. And I guess I need a thumbs up or a thumbs down. The email that we used to set up the meeting, can I email that to the email that we used for the meeting? Okay, we'll email that to you later this morning so that you can have a copy. If that doesn't work or you need to print it, you can always swing by the court and we'll print it for you free of charge, okay? All right, thanks for your due diligence today. You've tried very hard. I really appreciate it. And I'm sorry that it was not this working for some reason on your end. Your technology is just not doing both things together. Sometimes is a problem. And that can just be for so many reasons, but the case is going to be resolved. So it's okay. All right. Thank you so much. We have a marching orders. Okay. Thank you. And here's that business. And Mr. Matson, I'll move you forward. Let's see where we are. She was the second one, but we've done several in the meantime. And so your next person is Candy Marie Wagner. And her audio was working fine earlier. If you'll unmute, then I can move you over. Great. Here we go. Okay.
Yeah.
That should move you over. Okay. I too am moving forward, and my next person is Jasmine Locke. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Thank you for asking. I'm just fine. This is, let's see. Okay, where we are is I have what's called a capias profile. It's a type of warrant for non-completion of a court order.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
with this one, we've had both a payment plan and community service. So those are the only tools I have besides. And I've tried those two. It hasn't worked out. I get that it would be good for you to do community service. In fact, I've ordered it before. What's happening that we didn't get your community service last time?
So basically it was my transportation. My engine went out on my vehicle, so I wasn't able to get there. But
and then my next question then is, Why didn't you communicate that to the court?
I was having issues with my telephone as well at that time.
We take letters, we take everything.
Yes, ma'am, I understand. It was just bad on my end, and I should have took better initiative to, do what I was supposed to do, and I apologize for that.
I agree, accepted. Try again, but it's really the last time I get to.
Yes, ma'am.
So what happens if you don't is you either pay it or go to jail. So let's try to take that in, okay?
Yes, I also wanted to state something, if that's okay.
Okay,
I start my work from home job on the 24th of this month. And I know I requested community service again, but I can just pay it in full by August 7th on both tickets.
okay. Well, I think what I would feel would be the best option be to go ahead and order the community service. The due date there is August 10th. And you are always able to come in and make the payment in full.
Okay.
And if you do that, it cancels the community service order. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Because I'm interested in getting you out of warrant today under the facts that currently exist. Okay?
Yes,
Which
ma'am.
is that you're eligible to do community service. Now that we visited about the issues, okay, that got you to warrant this time.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, but you can come in and pay it and cancel community service out.
Okay.
Okay, right, then you're good to go, but we'll email you the community service.
All right. Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am.
Have a good day.
You too. They're not. Um, Ms. Wagner is back over. Where are we on the expired buyer?
We will continue to final pretrial, Your Honor, but I expect this case to be resolved well before then.
Okay, if it's not, and we know that because the clerk will take it off the docket, then August 23rd at 1 o'clock is what our current schedule is, okay? Ms. Wagner?
Yes, I thought he said September 23rd, but either way, it'll be resolved by the end of the day today.
I don't know what he said, but I've got it scheduled for August 23rd.
I'll go with what you say.
Okay, it should be on your.
All right. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Matson, moving you forward. Let's see where we are. Vanessa Stats. Can you unmute?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, I will move you over to that meeting with Mr. Matson.
Yes, ma'am.
I too am moving forward, and I would ask Jaime Rojas to unmute and get on screen. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are y'all doing this morning?
Good, and you?
Yeah, I'm doing fine. I do have a single offense, and it is an no license charge. I actually have a note that you're qualified for a prosecutorial dismissal. I don't know why we didn't just do it, but let's do it now. So that case is actually being dismissed, Mr. Rojas. If you want a copy, I can send it to your email on file.
Well, they basically sent me here to talk to you because they told me that you wanted to talk to me.
Let me look and see why. there any notes that shed light? I see my notes. Let's see this. Okay. I think that it was just a matter of making sure that we got your dismissal done.
Okay, and am I going how to pay for anything or
No.
so
No,
it's off?
no conviction, no case. Done.
Okay, so it's off my record?
Yes,
Okay, so I can leave now?
you can.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. Glad you're licensed.
Yeah.
Drive with a license. Be sure. Drive with a license. Okay. Bianca Marilas, tell me the best way to say it.
Mireles?
Great. How are you this morning?
Good. How about you?
So this is a no insurance charge. We already have a conviction. Community service was due, but you're asking for a payment plan. And what you gave me didn't give me income information. And you did tell me that you don't have a car, although you're in a car, and you were asking to make a payment. I'm okay with a payment. I just want to make sure that you understand it's your payment, not your significant others, and I can keep it at $30 a month.
Okay.
But I do need you to come to the court and sign for it. Can you come by the court today, and at what time?
After I'm done from here.
Okay, you're done in about 5 minutes. So we'll look for you about 11 o'clock.
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Okay, we'll have that ready for you at the front desk.
Thank you. Appreciate.
Thank you, ma'am. You too.
Have a good one. Thank
And
you.
you too. Oh, Ms. Marilis,
Yes.
if you run into any issues where you can't make payment, come in and talk to someone. Drop me a note. Okay. If you run into a situation where you need to go back to community service, you can tell me that too. Okay.
All right, ma'am. Yes, thank you. Appreciate.
I don't want you to go to warrant.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I am moving forward as well. And Mario Quinones, are you in the meeting? There we go. Well, there we go. Well, let's see. Let's try. Yeah, Ms. Dennison will be with you soon. I can't hear you yet. On Epifania Quinones, Mario Quinones. Can you unmute?
Hello.
Hi.
Hello, ma'am.
Hi, are you Mario?
Good, ma'am.
Okay. So I do have your cases before me. We were in team court and we had community service due June 20th.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
it didn't get done. And let's see, I know you had summer school. And I know that you had tests and things that you felt like were keeping you from doing the community service.
Yes, ma'am.
And thank you for your note. You did tell me you understood if you make a payment plan, it's going to be on your record. What are you trying to do at this time? Because what you're telling me is I don't have time to do the community service because I'm in school, but I have a job and I have plenty of time to work and make payment.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you see how those are two different opposing things?
Yes, ma'am. Well,
yeah,
I understand like the ticket would be on my record, but I'd rather just get it out the way and just make the payment, like payment plan, and then like Like, I understand that'll be on my record.
Okay. I can do that. What is your proposal for a monthly payment?
I could do 100 a month.
Okay, can you start today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And I'll go ahead and enter convictions. And then order that you pay $100 a month beginning today. And what time can you come by the court to make payment and sign for your payment plan?
I can right now.
Okay. We'll have everything at the front desk for you to, and you'll get in and out pretty quickly. And they'll print out a payment plan for you.
All right, yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, Mr. Matson. I know you were talking with Vanessa Stats. And I'm moving that person over. Okay. Working on it. Telephone caller that just came into the room. What is your name? 254-638. I'm sending you an unmute request. Can you give me your name, please?
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, what's your name?
Johnson, Vernon.
Say the name again.
Johnson, Vernon.
Oh, Vernon Johnson.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. We'll be with you shortly. I'm going to remute you, but I will call your name out in a moment. Okay, Mr. Matson, on the stats case, where are we?
We're going to continue to final pretrial, Your Honor.
Okay, that's going to be August 9th at 2:00. Okay, Ms. Stats?
Yes, yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
We'll see you here at the court.
Okay, thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you. Okay, Mr. Matson, moving you forward. Let's see. Veronica Zumba Canton is here to meet with you.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to move you over to that meeting, okay?
Okay.
I think English is not the first language.
That's my understanding as well.
Doing okay, but you might need a translator. Let us know if you use that service.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. All right, and I too am moving forward. Let's see. Arden Lavoy.
I'm here. Hi.
Great. Okay. How are you?
Fantastic. What about you, Your Honor?
Yeah, doing very well. Let's see. We had community service.
Yes, ma'am.
We've had 2 extensions with no progress. We don't have, we did get that you were in Austin, perhaps, but we also received an Arkansas address. We helped you find a place in Arkansas, and then the address changed to Austin. Did find a community service location in Austin that's been pre-approved before. Okay. And so, and then I got a note that you were about to start working again, and we would maybe set up payments. I think the hours that you submitted were from a non-approved provider.
Yeah, my apologies. I failed to read that there were pre-approved places, and I thought I could just go to places and then get them approved there because I've never done court ordered. So that was my misunderstanding.
We're good. I just don't want you to go there. You're saying that you could pay $50 a month, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
When can you start?
I get my next paycheck next week, my like actual paycheck. So, do you need an exact date?
What's the date that you get your first check? It's probably not a complete check, and we probably, but are you paid every 2 weeks?
Yes, ma'am. I could pay with my next paycheck. It would be fine, and it would be on the 21st.
Okay. And I have a question. The
Yes,
beginning July 21st, do you want to pay like $25 every 2 weeks or 50 just on the 21st every of $50?
I'll just do 50 just because.
Okay, that's fine. And are you local or am I emailing this to you for you to sign off on?
Could you mind emailing it to me?
I don't mind, but I need it back today, okay?
The sheet?
The payment plan. Got to
Okay.
sign for it today.
Okay, yeah, you got it.
Okay, you print it, sign it, and email it back, okay?
Okay.
Okay, very good. Then we will email that to you to the email that we set up this meeting.
Okay, and you said you wanted me to print it, and then do you want me to take a picture of it and then send it back?
What if that works best for you?
Okay.
If you're able to scan it, I will take a photo copy.
Okay.
Okay. All
Sounds
right.
good.
Thank you.
Have a great rest of your day.
And you too. Mr. Hernandez, can you unmute?
Yes, ma'am.
How are you today?
Good, and you?
Doing fine. Give me a moment. I'm getting your file pulled up.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, Mr. Hernandez, I do have a request for a deferral on a speeding charge from June 9th, and fines and costs are $264. This is a 73 and a 45, and you did enter a plea of guilty. Is that your plea at this time?
Yes, ma'am.
You live in Cameron.
Yes, ma'am.
You're not a CDL holder, right?
No, ma'am.
I can grant a deferral, and I might be willing to do that. I normally don't on this level of speed. I am required by law, regardless, to order that you complete a driving safety course as a condition of deferral because you are under the age of 20. The deferral would run from today until November 9th. The course would be due by September 12th. Are you able to make payment today in full?
I don't get paid till Friday.
Okay, can you make payment in full on Friday of 260?
The 264?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Friday is the 7th, I think. No, the 14th, excuse me.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I can do that. And I need to get your signature. Can you come by the court to sign today?
Me and my family finna go to vacation, and I think I can make it today.
Yeah, I need a signature today. So I either need to have you, I can email it if you can print it and sign it and email it back, or you can come by the court, which will work.
Email.
Okay. Make sure we got it before you go out of town, okay?
Well, I will.
You can pay online or by phone to do the payment on Friday.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, then we'll email that to you, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. You have a good day.
You too. Okay, let's see. We have a few folks that, Miss Dennison, can you get on screen and unmute? Yeah, are you having technology difficulty?
I did previously. I didn't know that you had to go through your settings and say that you wanted to allow audio, so I apologize for that.
That's okay. I have community service with 44 hours due by August 28th.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
any alternative provider has to get pre-approved by July 12th.
Okay.
Let's see. It's 44 hours due August 28th. Do you have questions about that?
I actually contacted them and just asked them if they had anything that they could just tell me, like, what kind of community services was.
Who are they? Because I gave you a list of places.
Oh, I'm not from Temple. I live 3 or 4 hours away in Wichita Falls. And so I didn't know, like, I've never had community service, so I didn't know if I had to, like, go to a certain place. So I was asking them if maybe they could tell me, like, what kind of community service I could do to do it. And then they just told me I had a hearing because I don't have a car. And so I can't work outside because I'm pregnant and it's too hot.
When are you due?
Christmas, unfortunately.
You live with other people?
I have one roommate, yes, but they take a scooter to and from their work.
How do you get groceries and so forth?
They get delivered through Walmart.
Okay. As far as like what places want you to do, I don't have any control over that.
Okay.
I'm not requiring outside, work. Like around here, some of our providers have people sorting socks at the Goodwill kind of thing,
Okay.
So it's not really a question of hard labor. I didn't send you to hard labor. It just
Yes, ma'am.
it has to be a non-profit provider.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Under state law. So and it needs to be up to date. So sometimes people, like, you would think churches would be nonprofits, but I had them file one time and then they let their provisions lapse. And
Okay.
now they're not. So I have to be able to verify with the state. So I can give you an extension on finding a provider. I can extend that to 2 weeks. And that would be like July 25th. And what you would want to do is call around, okay, and see if you can find a nonprofit in your vicinity where you could get to it easily. The other thing that you could do is meet with your doctor. When's your next doctor visit?
It is on the 28th, I believe, of this month.
Okay. So let me give you an extension. I'll accept the nonprofit designation no later than August 8th.
Okay.
And you can talk to your doctor and see if your doctor says that you are physically not able to do anything that you find. So that's what you do is you find providers and then you get a doctor to okay what the activity is.
Okay.
And then if your doctor says, no, it's not possible, I need that in writing by your due date.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
If
ma'am.
the doctor says yes, but just do it this way, like 4 hours a week, and you need more time, then put that in writing and I can extend you out.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
So I'll just keep working with you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, you're good to go.
All right. Thank you.
Mr. Matson, let's do a check-in on the Zumba Canton case.
Judge, I had the language line on the phone and the call just dropped. I messaged Aaron to see if Zena wanted to come in and relay anything really quickly, or I can call back if you prefer that.
I don't really know. Let's see. I'm just looking at it's a big file. Are we talking about a plea bargain or are we talking about?
We're just continuing to file, Your Honor.
Okay, that's sort anything when we get here. I'll have a clerk let her know. I have August 8th at 3.
August 8th or August 9th?
9th, I'm sorry.
That's all right. I just wanted to confirm.
You can come around. Yeah. Senora Zumba Canton, can you hear?
Sí.
If you just let her know we are all coming to this night at 3 talk about the case.
No.
Judge, I think Zena's too far away. She might need to go over where Aaron is.
¿Puedes venir a la corte el día 9 de agosto a las 3?
Sí.
¿Puedes venir aquí para hablar con la juez y el abogado? Vas a venir a la corte el día 9.
Sí. Yes.
Y el abogado. ¿Está bien?
Sí.
Does she have the date?
¿Tienes el día y tiempo?
Pues no está bien con ese tiempo. Espero que para ese tiempo ya las personas estén afuera y yo pueda hacer mi trabajo.
That's the date that she hopes the people will be up that day and she can finish doing the work she needs.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Matson, she just said that she actually hopes that she'll have work completed by that day because she's getting these people out. So I don't actually know what that all means, but she's aware of the date. So we'll just do a better job. We'll do a better job when she's here with the translation stuff. Let me ask if there's anyone else on your docket. And just give me a second on Ms. Dennison. I didn't extend her final due date. I just extended her ability to get a clear or a doctor's note. That way she can meet with the doctor and we can see where we are. Okay. Mr. Matson, today has just been a day of people having all kinds of problems. Let me see if there are people here that are here for you. The only case I have where there's a no-show is on Kelly McMahon's case.
That is what I have as well, Your Honor.
And I mean, I don't know what the problem is there, but they are scheduled for finals, so Luke Bowman, I don't know why that's on your, I have that over here, but I don't know why that's there. It's not listed on my list, but it looks like it might be a pretrial. I don't know. Okay. So they're scheduled for August 9th at 3. And I'll just expect to see them in court.
I'm sure that I'll get an email from someone this afternoon.
Probably. I hope so. That would be nice. Anything. But I don't see anyone else here for you that could even be here for you because you've seen everyone. So you're good to go.
All right, Judge.
We are scheduled tomorrow for afternoon. Is that right?
Yes, we are.
Okay. We'll see you then.
Thank you, Judge. Really quickly before I go, I did have one quick question.
Yes.
If a person is on deferral and then they receive a conviction and deferral is requested again on that same ticket, is that something that you would entertain, or is that not possible?
On that same ticket?
So they have it, if they have a ticket from earlier in the year, they get placed on deferral, and then before the deferral period ends, they get another ticket, plead no contest. The first ticket that's on deferral, since there was a conviction entered, is no longer on deferral. And now an attorney is wanting to put it back on deferral. Is that possible?
I can't put something that's already been convicted back on deferral. I might grant it on a new one.
Okay. We can talk about this more in person. It's a bit confusing, but I don't want to ex parte.
Right. Just generally speaking, if the person received, or if a show cause was sent and, the conviction got entered, that conviction got entered. Okay. All right. So we'll work on just the generalities when we talk tomorrow.
That sounds good, Your Honor.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
You know what? I've got somebody named Andy Garbe.
That is probably the attorney for the McMahon office.
They're trying to get in right now. I'll let them in and see where we are. Andy Garbe, can you unmute and get on screen?
Good morning, Judge.
Hello?
Nice to see you.
Hi. Are you here from the McMahon law firm?
Yes, Your Honor.
You're aware court started at 9, right?
I'm sorry, Judge.
Court started at 9, right? We just about.
I've been on, no, Judge, I had actually been on Zoom since 8:50 this morning, and I just had our paralegal call, and I don't know what happened. And he said log off and log back on. I logged back on, and I got a message that it was, the meeting was waiting the whole time, Your Honor.
Well, I don't know what to tell you. I've not seen you in the waiting room, and I've let everybody in that's been in the waiting room all morning, but I'll just move you over to the pretrial now.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Probably in a different room. Maybe not even ours. I don't know. I will move forward. He's moved over, Mr. Matson, so you can move over. And I will move along then. Let me see who I still have. Annalisa Sariana.
Yes, ma'am.
How are you today?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm pulling your file up. I have a failing to control speed charge with fines and costs of $264. I did receive a plea from you and a request for teen court, which I am inclined to grant. The plea was a plea of guilty. Were you logged in when we started court this morning?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you understand the options for pleading guilty, not guilty, and no contest?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I will accept your plea. I will order team court. With team court, there is a $20 fee. Can that fee get paid today
Yes, ma'am.
in cash?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then I would require a driving safety course. And it would be due by August 10th.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you come by the court today to sign your papers and pay the cash fee?
Yes, ma'am.
And what time can we look for you today?
Within the next 30.
Okay, we'll say by 11:30.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, mom's welcome to be here. In fact, I actually think that, are you mom?
Yes.
Okay, I wasn't sure. You don't look old enough. I would say that you're welcome to be here. You're not required, but the outcomes are always better when parents are involved. So we'll see y'all at the front desk by about 11:30, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. I have a phone caller ending in 638. I believe it's Vernon Johnson. Vernon Johnson, are you here? Hi.
Yes, ma'am, I'm here.
Okay. Hi. I'm Judge Person.
Hold on, what do you say now, ma'am?
I said my name is Judge Person.
Okay, I hear this phone is messing up.
Well, I don't know what to do about
Can you
that. I can hear you.
can you hear me? All right.
Yes. Okay, Mr. Johnson, I believe we have community service ordered right now with a due date of July 11th. Maybe. Have you been doing community service?
Ma'am, I have, but they sit up there and told me, it's like I tried to explain last time when I sit up there and wrote the request for an extension of time. I work a 12-hour day. I go at 6 in the morning. I'm at work right now. I work at 6 in the morning to 5 in the afternoon. Most of the places that's on the list are closed. The only one that's open that I can get to is on the weekend is at the, Feed My Sheep. And that's why I've been doing my community service time at.
Okay. So how many hours have you done?
I turned the last I was in, ma'am. I think because they don't stay open that long. I think it's like I turned some in, but I've been going. I had to go back this weekend.
Okay, let me look and
And I
see.
think yeah, 'cause I got 90-something hours. They say I have 90-something hours.
Okay, hang on just a moment. Just stay
Yes,
on
ma'am.
stay on the line, okay? And
Okay.
I'll check in and see where we are, because we have some new cases that I need to talk to you about. But I'll work with you, okay, Mr. Johnson? Okay, I'll assume we're good. On the Pozo Valdez case, where are we?
Your Honor,
Yes,
Mr.
ma'am.
Garvey is going to take an offer back to his client, so we'll go ahead and continue to final for now.
That's fine. Final is August 9th at 3.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, that's here live in the court.
All right, thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Okay, Mr. Matson, we're good to go.
Thank you, Judge. I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay. Mr. Johnson?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so while I'm getting, the clerk is helping me, but we're a little, our technology isn't pulling things up as quickly as we'd like to see them. So
Yes, ma'am.
I know, it's just not true. So, but real quickly, has he turned in hours here? Because sometimes people think that they get turned in for them, and I didn't see any credits. Okay. All right. Okay. So, okay, Mr. Johnson, I need you to come by the court and redo your payment application. Because
Yes, ma'am.
what you're telling me, it's not adding up, your payment application. And, you know,
What-
I either need you to fill it out and be really detail specific, or I need to see your pay stubs.
You here?
You need to see my pay stub.
Yes, I do.
Okay. Okay. That's no problem.
Okay. And then you have several new cases, and I'm not seeing, well, it's just one. There's a no.
Just one.
There's a
No insurance.
Yeah, there's a no insurance charge from June 17th. The fines and costs are $281. How are you pleading to that charge?
I mean, I'm guilty. I don't have the money for it. I don't have any money.
Okay. Well, again, I'm gonna need an updated payment plan and a copy of your pay stub.
Yes, ma'am. No
And
problem.
And then I can look at whether I add this to the order, because right now I'm not really, are you the only income to your home?
The only one. And just like I tried to explain last time, I work here at PSI. I make $17 an hour. I get 40 hours a week. It's $780 a week, and I bring it to pay stub and show you. They extract $400 to $500 out of my check every week. So I'm surviving on less. Yeah.
What are they taking that all for?
They taking it off my check.
Why though?
That comes for child support. I pay child support, insurance, car payment, and everything else, man. I don't even make $2,000 a month after they've taken everything out. I am barely making it.
Okay.
And I will bring you the check stub so you can see it, man. So y'all won't think that I'm telling no lie or anything.
It's not that I think that you're lying. It's that people get a little careless with the court sometimes. And, you know,
Yes, ma'am.
maybe things change and I don't know that they changed. And
Yes, ma'am. I fully understand. Yes, ma'am.
If you'll allow me to finish my sentence, it's going to improve this situation a lot.
Okay.
So what I would tell you is, yeah, I mean, it's not really adding up, and you know, all your bills are even numbered. So I know those aren't your actual bills. I know you're guessing. I mean, I get that people aren't always prepared when they walk in and they don't know what we'd be asking them, you know. So it's not that I think that you're lying. It's that I just don't think I'm getting a very accurate picture, and I want an accurate picture.
I got you.
It will help me make a better decision.
Yes, ma'am.
If I don't know what I'm looking at, I don't know how to make a good decision. So I just do the best I can at that point.
Yes, ma'am.
That's not
Yes,
really
ma'am.
what I want to be doing. So come in and refill this out. Give me an accurate picture. I'm inclined to
Yes, ma'am.
I'm inclined to add the new cases to the community service and give you an extension.
Yes, ma'am.
I also want to let you know that, you know, there are limits to how much they can take out of your paycheck for back child support.
Yes, ma'am.
I agree that if you're ordered to pay it, you owe what you owe, but I also know that people have to make enough to survive on. So if you need to talk to the child support magistrate, that's a different court, but you can ask them.
Yes, ma'am.
You can ask them to make adjustments if you have not already done that. So.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yeah, just so you know that. Okay. So I'll accept your plea. Can you come by the court today?
Yes, ma'am, I can. What time do y'all need me to come by?
Whatever works best for you is fine for the court. What works best for you?
Okay, what time do y'all close today? 'Cause I'm gonna have to take off work.
Oh, I see. We close at 5. So can you get here by 4?
Yes, ma'am. I'll try to get there before 4. I'm gonna have to take off work. But yes, ma'am, I'll get up there.
It won't take but about 5 minutes.
Yes, ma'am.
And we can give you your extension with your new hours at that time, okay? We'll go ahead and
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
you can deliver. So, yeah, so when you come in, we'll just give you your paperwork and you
Yes,
fill
ma'am.
out the updated information and just bring
Yes,
a
ma'am.
copy of a single pay stub so that I have something in my file that validates what I'm doing with you, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
And then we'll move forward with an extension. And I
Yes,
just
ma'am.
get your order printed and add your new hours. So we'll have all that. And I'll probably give you a pretty big extension of time. Okay?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
All right, Mr. Johnson, thank you for logging in today.
No, ma'am. Thank you.
All right. See you soon.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, ma'am.
I get his order and look at the new stuff. We can do that. Oh, there you go. It finally pulled up. Give us just a moment. I do have a phone caller unmuted, and I don't know who it is. What's your name?
Quasian.
What's the first and last name?
Quasian. Faquazin.
What's your last name?
Lee. Lee.
Okay. Are you also on the phone call? Or just
Yeah.
on this device in the car? Okay, who just cleared their throat? Is that in the same vehicle?
No, ma'am.
This is Larry Cole.
Okay, Mr. Culp, I'll be with you in a moment. Just hang tight, okay?
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry.
You're okay. Don't worry. Faquazion, sorry, Mr. Lee. There is a no license charge with fines and costs of $181 and a no insurance charge with fines and costs of $281. And this is all from a stop alleged on May 24th. And I did receive pleas from you on both charges, a guilty plea on the no license and a guilty plea on the insurance. Is that your plea at this time in both of those cases?
You said what, ma'am?
You entered a plea of guilty on your license charge and on your insurance charge. Is that your plea now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you did request teen court, right?
Yes. I was trying to do teen court, but they said I had to have proof that I go to school.
Yes.
But it wouldn't let me log into Skyward for some reason. So I couldn't get, and I didn't have no school ID or anything to prove to them that I was in school. But I go to Edwards.
I made a copy of it. A copy of it is in my phone if she needed it.
Can you take a screenshot and print it?
Yeah.
Tell her.
Of what your mother, is that your mom?
Yeah, my aunt.
Your aunt, okay.
Are you?
Hi. Are we able to, I overheard you, that you had a screenshot. That you had a screen.
Yeah, that's it.
I need to get that in.
He sent it.
How do I send it?
Oh, so how do he send it? Oh, wait a minute.
I would suggest that y'all take a screenshot and email it to the court showing it's enrolled. Y'all aren't letting me finish my sentences, so it's really hard to communicate.
I'm sorry.
So it's always good when you're on the phone or you're doing technology from the car like that. It's a really good idea to, let's just pause each time and wait for the other person. Is what y'all have available to you right now, the screen that you're looking at, does it show that you're enrolled? What is it of?
Your enrollment.
My enrollment.
Okay, so if you can take a screenshot and just come into the court, email it to the email, and then we can print it here.
Yes, ma'am.
And so then the next question for teen court is, we're doing proof of enrollment today. And then there's a $20 fee for each case. That's $40. Can that be paid today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and are you getting a license?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you in a program to get it?
No, ma'am, but I'm trying to get into one.
Okay.
Brother said he'll help me.
Your brother?
Yes, ma'am.
Sorry, your brother said he would help you?
Yes, ma'am. He'll help me with my license, help me get my license and my permit and stuff like that.
Okay. I think that the best step is for y'all to come in. Can your aunt bring you over to court today? And you can meet with a case manager and we can come up with a plan for teen court. It'll take about 20 to 30 minutes of your time once you get here.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
What time?
It'll have to be before. We can go.
Like 3.
Phelan has to go to work. So about 2, you ain't got nothing else to do. We could go now. Just tell her we'll be there before 3.
We'll be there before 3, ma'am.
Well, we need a real specific time to set up a meeting with a case manager because they have time too. Will 2:30 work?
Yes.
Okay, we'll see y'all at 2:30.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You love that.
Yes. Bringing food.
How do we get
Let's get it. Mr. Colt?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm so glad you're on the line because I was worried about you. How are you doing?
Fine, ma'am.
I'm Judge Person.
Very nice to meet you.
Hi, I have your message about the fire and
Yes, ma'am.
So
I've made several attempts to try and get tags on this vehicle.
right.
And I've gone and got the inspection for it. I have carried insurance. I also have to carry my SR-22, and I have a driver's license.
Okay.
And I'm still carrying liability insurance on the car and the SR-22.
Okay. And
I'm trying to get to Waco to get a bonded title, to file for a bonded title.
Okay. Yeah.
In order to try and get. I'm sorry.
No, it's just a phone delay. So you're going to get a bonded title from Waco?
That's what I need to do. I need to make it to Waco and get an application for a bonded title because I don't think they allow you to get an application for it here in Temple.
I think you're right. Okay. How long do you think you might need to get that?
Oh, I can try and do it in the next 10 days.
Okay, I can give you 30.
I don't know how long the application will set before it's looked at, or
I can give
so
you,
I really can't say how long it will take.
I can give you 30 days.
You can give me 30 days.
Yeah, we can try that.
Very well.
Okay, I'm going to extend you to August 10th.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Did we email you?
I will make it to Waco and get that application one day this week.
Okay. Did we email you information for the meeting today? Is that how you learned about it, or did you come by the court?
No, I come by the courts, ma'am.
Can you come by the court today sometime to pick it up again?
I most certainly can.
Okay, what time should we look for you?
Let's see, it's 11. They go to lunch at 12 o'clock, I think, or 1 o'clock.
Well, we're here, so whatever time works for you. I just want to let them know what time to look for you.
Around 1:30, 2 o'clock.
Okay, 2 o'clock's fine. Bye.
Well, I will see y'all then.
Okay, great. We'll have it. Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay. No one's in the waiting room, and I see no further persons, and therefore I will stop.